d4, queen's pawn opening, b5, Polish defense opening line. Bishop e3, out of opening book, e4, would have been in the Polish defense opening line. Knight f6, g3, c6, bishop g2, pin, knight g4, blocks white's pawn at g3. Knight h3, slightly better is bishop d2. Knight takes e3, forks white's bishop at g2, and white's queen blocks white's pawn at e2 and hinders the opponent's short castle. F takes e3, remove queen a5, checks white's king. Queen d2, removes the threat on white's king and threatens black's queen. b4, protects black's queen. a3, e6, castle kingside. f6, knight f4, takes the knight away from the edge of the board. Bishop d6, makes way for a castle to the kingside. Knight d3, knight a6. a4, slightly better is c3. Queen g5, frees black's pawn at b4 from the pin. e4, queen h5. Bishop f3, attacks black's queen. Queen f7, moves it to safety. b3, bishop e7, queen e3. Bishop b7, makes way for a castle to the queenside. Knight d2, g5. Queen f2, slightly better is e5. g4, threatens white's bishop. Bishop takes g4, isolates black's pawn at h7. White wins a pawn. h5, attacks white's bishop. Bishop h3, moves it to safety. h4, g4. Queen g6. Knight f4, threatens black's queen. Queen g8, moves it to safety. Knight f3. Rook h7. e5. f5, partially pins white's pawn at g4. g5, creates a passed pawn on g5. c5. e3, slightly better is g6. c4, hangs the pawn at c4, leads to g6. Rook c8, b takes c4, rook h8, queen e2, queen g7, bishop g2, bishop e4, c5, which loses a pawn. Better is bishop takes g5, leading to knight g2, bishop e7, rook a d1, knight c7, d takes c5, bishop takes c5, queen d2, knight d5, knight d4, which wins 2 pawns for a pawn. B takes c4, slightly better is g6. Bishop e4, leads to g6, rook h6, bishop g2, rook b8, a5, b3, c takes b3, h3, bishop takes h3, rook takes b3, which wins a pawn for 2 pawns. Better is bishop takes g5, leading to king h1, rook c8, queen e2, bishop e4, c5, knight c7, bishop g2, bishop e7, knight d2, which wins a pawn. Knight g2 leads to bishop takes g5, queen e2, rook c8, rook a2, rook g7, knight takes g5, rook takes g5, rook f2, king e7, rook a1, which wins a bishop for a knight and a pawn. Better is g6, leading to rook h6, bishop g2, rook b8, a5, b3, c takes b3, h3, bishop takes h3, rook takes b3, which wins 2 pawns for a pawn. Rook h5. Slightly better is bishop takes g5. Knight g takes h4, puts the knight on the edge of the board, leads to bishop takes g5, bishop g2, bishop takes h4, queen e2, bishop e7, rook a b1, knight c7, a5, rook c8, which wins a pawn for a knight and a pawn. Better is queen e2, leading to rook h8, rook a b1, rook b8, c5, knight c7, knight f4, bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, queen takes g5, check, bishop g2, bishop takes g2, knight takes g2, which wins 2 bishops for a bishop, a knight, and a pawn. Rook h7 leads to bishop g2, rook c8, queen e2, bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, queen takes g5, knight f3, queen g6, rook f2, king e7, which wins a knight and a pawn for a bishop. Better is bishop takes g5, leading to bishop g2, bishop takes h4, queen e2, bishop e7, rook a b1, knight c7, a5, rook c8, which wins a knight and a pawn. This was black's most serious miscue, but black was able to stay close and eventually mated. g6 advances the passed pawn. Rook h5. Queen g3 disengages the pin on white's knight at h4. Rook h6. Slightly better is bishop takes c2. King f2 leads to bishop takes c2, rook f b1, bishop takes b1, rook takes b1, rook b8, rook b3, queen g7, knight takes f5, e takes f5, bishop takes f5, rook h5, queen g4, which wins a bishop and 2 pawns for a rook, a knight, and a pawn. Better bishop takes c2 creates a passed pawn on b4. Black wins a pawn. Rook a c1, bishop e4, queen f4, queen f8. Knight takes f5, hangs the pawn at g6, and the bishop leads to e takes f5, g7, queen takes g7, bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, queen takes f5, b3, rook b1, rook b8, king e2, queen f7, queen d3, which wins a bishop and 2 pawns for a bishop, a knight, and a pawn. Better is rook g1, leading to rook h5, g7, queen g8, knight g5, bishop takes g5, rook takes g5, rook h7, rook c g1, b3, which wins a bishop for a knight. E takes f5. Bishop takes f5. Slightly better is g7. queen takes f5. Removes the threat on black's bishop at e4 and attacks white's pawn at g6 with two pieces. Queen takes h6. Removes the threat on white's pawn at g6. White wins a rook and two pawns for a bishop and a knight. b3 leads to queen h8 check, bishop f8, queen f6, b2, rook c3, rook b8, queen f7 check, king d8, queen takes f5, bishop takes f5, knight d2, bishop takes g6, king e2, which wins a queen and a pawn for a queen. Better is queen takes f3 check, leading to king e1, bishop h4 check, queen takes h4, queen takes e3 check, king d1, queen takes d4 check, king e1, queen e3 check, king d1, bishop f3 check, rook takes f3, queen takes f3 check, king c2, knight c5, queen h8 check, king e7, queen g7 check, king e6, rook d1, queen f5 check, king c1, which wins a rook, a knight, and two pawns for two bishops. Queen h8 check, bishop f8, g7, leads to queen takes f3 check, king e1, queen takes e3 check, king d1, queen takes d4 check, king e1, queen e3 check, king d1, bishop f3 check, rook takes f3, queen takes f3 check, king e1, queen e3 check, king d1, queen d4 check, king e2, queen takes e5 check, king f3, queen f6 check, king e3, queen e7 check, king d2, queen g5 check, king d3, queen takes g7, queen takes g7, bishop takes g7, which wins a queen and a bishop for a queen, a rook, a knight, and four pawns. Much better is queen f6, leading to b2, rook c3, rook b8, queen f7 check, king d8, queen takes f5, bishop takes f5, knight d2, bishop takes g6, e4, which wins a queen for a queen and a pawn. This was white's critical error in the game. White did recover, but was later mated. Queen takes f3 check, removes the threat on black's bishop at f8 and checks white's king. King e1, queen takes e3, king d1, queen takes d4 check, king e1, queen e3 check, king d1, bishop f3 check, rook takes f3, queen takes f3 check, protects black's bishop and checks white's king. Black wins the exchange, rook for bishop. King d2, queen f2 check, leads to king d1, queen d4 check, king e2, queen takes e5 check, king d2, queen takes g7, queen takes g7, bishop takes g7. Better is castle queenside, leading to g takes f8, queen, rook takes f8, queen takes f8, check, queen takes f8, king e2, b2, rook g1, queen f5, e6, queen e4, check, king d2, queen d4, check, king c2, queen takes g1, e takes d7, check, king takes d7, king takes b2, queen takes h2, check. King c3, which gains a queen, a rook, and a pawn, and loses a rook, a bishop, and 2 pawns by comparison. King, queen, king, queen d2, check. Black has a mate in 2. King b1. Queen a2, checkmate. Checkmates white's king.